Hello, I'm MBX and welcome back to the video. So let's talk about the Frostwalker enchantment in Minecraft. This is one of the most interesting things they've probably ever added to the game because it allows you to freeze water just by going near it, which is pretty darn cool, right? However, because it's so hard to get in survival, you have to get it through treasure enchantment means. This means most people never actually get to play around with the Frostwalker enchantment, which is almost a shame because it is such an interesting enchantment with so many weird little uses. And I figured why not go through some of those, uses with today's video so that you can understand, how not to get really frustrated and annoyed by exactly how it does work. So that's what I'm doing. Hopefully you all do enjoy it. Like the video because it helps out the channel and lets me know you do like this sort of video. But with that said, let me just quickly mention the fact that it's going to be slightly more echoey than normal today. This is because I'm in the new house / new office for the first time and I haven't done enough echo reduction yet. So you're going to hear some, reverberations, some echoes or whatever. But that's because I'm in a new house, not because I'm stranded in a cave and desperately begging for help and saying help me or something like that. No, I am just here to make a video and stuff about Frostwalker. Like I said, really cool enchantment, and I'm going to be using Frostwalker 2 for this example because most of the time, this is one of those few enchantments where Frostwalker 1 is actually rarer than Frostwalker 2. So yeah, let's assume you have your Frostwalker 2 enchantment and let's use it to talk about some of the cool things you can do with it. And the first one is actually stopping water from freezing over by using lily pads. So this is something I noticed when I was in a swamp biome for the first time, but lily pads and also, boats and stuff will not freeze over. The water underneath them cannot freeze because obviously there is a block there, which is really handy if you specifically do not want certain bits of water to freeze, because you've got to bear in mind there is a really annoying tendency where if you have, let's say, flowing water, you can actually freeze the water, stop it from flowing, and that can cause real problems. Like, let's say you had a sugarcane farm or something, you would not want that to freeze over, so you can put lily pads on there to stop the flow of water from stopping. So you can see, I've got this little bit thing here, but I can't stop the flowing water because the lily pad is in the way. So yeah, lily pads are like water protectors from Frostwalker boots, and that's something you'll probably never realize unless you get to this age with Frostwalker boots, and even then, it's kind of one of those weird facts that doesn't come up necessarily too often. So yeah, the second fact that won't come up too often is how you actually swim inside the water. So this came up on my Let's Play, like I said, because I was, I was trying to build a guardian from the water, but the thing is if you just slowly walk around the water, you'll never be able to stand in it. Like, look at this, I'm trying to get in the water, but I just can't. Like, if I stand, oh, okay, well, apparently I just landed inside the ice. But assuming you don't have the weirdest glitch in the world where that happens, you try to stand in the water and you just can't, and it's like, okay, so what am I going to do here? And the trick to this one is to either run and jump or to try and land in the water from higher up. So if you want to, again, this is one I kind of like, you can actually just kind of land in there from several blocks up. So let's say, like 3 blocks up or something, you can just try and land in the water from here, and that's one of the solutions. Or if you want to, you can kind of chase the water along and, do some run jumps till you get in it. Because when Frostwalker is activated, it doesn't activate fast enough to allow you to sprint jump, over and over again, which means if I wanted to, I go like this, and suddenly I'm in the water, and I can play around and build stuff and, do stuff like that if I really want to. So yeah, that's how you can make something like this possible, by simply, run jumping or jumping from 3 or 4 blocks up. So the next little thing that I came across when I was playing around with, the stuff is actually the fact that, the Frostwalker effect, you might assume it only works when you're level with the water. So, I'm here, on this grass block and that's over there, but it also works on half stabs, because half stabs in Minecraft, it's been said a billion times, but they weren't really ever meant to be added to the game. So they've got a bunch of weird, effects on how certain things work, and one of those weird effects is Frostwalker works just fine from half slabs. So if I want to, I can jump from here to that half slab, and as you're going to see, it activates all of this stuff, because, again, apparently they set the height to be a half block rather than anything else, and yeah, that's something interesting that you might not have otherwise came across. And I think most people aren't playing around with half slabs near their near their water, but now you can do that regardless. So the next one is actually the fact that you can reactivate broken water by frostwalkering it and then giving it some time to freeze. So yeah, deactivated water, or still water, whatever you want to call it, water that looks like this, is a really cool thing in Minecraft, but you might not want it. It might spawn accidentally, and an easy way to fix it, if you want to, is just to, have a little thing nearby. So let's go like this, for instance, and then you want to just, there we go, activate the frostwalker on it, and as soon as the frostwalker unfreezes, turns back into water, the water will reactivate. So yeah, if you want to turn, water from bad water to good water, you can do it like that. And realistically, you'd never want to, because, the still water is actually a really cool block that you can use for a billion different purposes, but if for some reason you really want to, then good news, you totally can. The next one here is not necessarily, general tips, but it's something I thought was really cool, and I figured, someone has to find a use for this, because it is the fact that you can surround water by lava, and then make it so you have to, walk over the thing. And again, it just feels so cool when I was doing it. I had this idea, I think it was on the plane home, actually. I was like, I'd have to do that at some point, and then I tried it, and it was actually, kind of satisfying. This is a really clumsily done one, so ignore the way it's horribly done, but you can actually make it so that your water is entirely surrounded by lava, and you just gotta, frostwalker over it to get through there. Because bear in mind, if you go through this without frostwalker boots, okay, so I just lived through that one, but, you could have seen the bad example of how that could have gone, let's say. But yeah, let's make a little staircase, actually. So block there, then a couple of blocks here. Let's try this again, shall we? Without the Frostwalker boots, because bear in mind, if you make this a really tight fit, I didn't, I gave it a block space, you can make it so if you go even the tiniest bit below or above the, the water, you go straight into lava. Like, if you just lower the ceiling by a block, you raise the lava on the floor by a block, then suddenly you can make it so the only way to effectively get across is with Frostwalker boots, which is pretty darn cool. And even if you don't want to do it that way, you can still make it so, oh yeah, guess what, you've got the Frostwalker to get you through that. And I just think that's kind of cool and interesting. Personally, you can surround lava by water, and the Frostwalker will still work just fine. You don't need to be in ideal conditions for it to not work, which is something kind of interesting. So yeah, the final one here is one that's really important, because when I was building this, it came up, and again, sort of thing that's going to kill you one day if you're trying to make a big lava machine or something. Because if you're crouching and you try to use your Frostwalker boots, it will work, interestingly, but it won't actually work fast enough to keep you afloat. Like, again, as it so you just, okay, and now I'm dead. So you see it right there, okay, I'm crazily glitched in the lava right now. You saw right there, if you try and, crouch across, like anything that should be Frostwalkered, it's not going to work entirely properly, and you will end up dead, which isn't good. So actually, we can just fly straight to the ground. And yeah, that is the kind of last bit of advice for people with Frostwalker boots. There's a bunch of weird quirks in the way they work, and because these quirks don't come up all the time, I figured today's video would be useful. I hope it was. I'd like to if you did think so too, because it helps out the channel a lot, and lets know you do like this sort of thing. Share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if subscribed, you'll see them daily on your homepage. I'm still setting up the office entirely. I know there will be less echoing stuff in the future, but I hope you did all enjoy this one, because yeah, the next video will be very slightly better and out later today. So see you there. Goodbye.